I don't think we toot our own horn enough in NAAAHR, which is a organization specifically dedicated to bridge that gap between diversity, equity, and inclusion, and human resource development and mentoring. I've been in this for a little while, as you know, and I can remember when the field first started. It started initially in response to, well, let's say it didn't start, but it really got its first big push because of a lot of lawsuits. I know this for a fact, I was at a company that was on the other end of a class action lawsuit. Then we started moving away from the number counting and then trying to make sure that people count. And we started talking about inclusion, making sure that people felt connected, respected, engaged. We wanted to make sure that they felt belonged. So people started partly running away from the word diversity because they were increasingly uncomfortable with it. And people became more comfortable with this concept of inclusion. So a lot of effort around what are we doing to make sure that everyone comes to work, goes home at the end of the day, feeling valued, respected, connected. But, and that's pretty much where we are now. And now we're shifting. We're in a movement. And the biggest change was all of those efforts I just described were internally focused. I would remember working at 4 corporations where even as a DNI, Doc, we can't talk about race, religion, you know, this. Those days are gone, folks. All 69 people on this call, if you're at a corporation, if you're a senior leader, you need to prepare for a workforce that's going to be returning. That genie is out the bottle. People always talked about those things. So now what you have to do is create a constructive way, a productive way for them to talk about it. To tell people not to talk about it is not only not good business sense, it's almost criminal to not create a safe space for people to talk about it. So as we move forward, talking about things like equity and justice, these are not internal things. Companies now are going to have to say, we can't ignore what's happened outside the front door. For years, if it stop it at the front door, no, you want to be all yourself, well, you can't be it up in here. It stops at the door. Those things are changing. Those things are changing, but this is not new for NAAAHR. We've been telling people this for a decade. We are the quintessential organization that has been that group mentoring, that safe space. Our brand has been, from the time you come to our first meeting, we are family. We don't give you a handshake, we give you a hug. And we're that place where you can come and share and know that we're going to treat you with dignity and respect, not regardless of your diversity, but because of your diversity. People, you know, let's talk about the HR Men of Triumphant. Not only did we have a big organization, but we narrowed it down and we said Black men in the field are leaving because they're not being successful. They're not being able to navigate. So what did NAAAHR did? We created an affinity group right within an affinity group. Nobody does this better than us. Nobody talks about this topic better than us. So for organizations out there, support your local your local National Association of African Americans in Human Resources. If you don't have a mentoring program, then invest in an organization that excels at it better than anybody else.